So, have you ever opened up LinkedIn or Instagram and immediately just felt this knot in your stomach? You know the feeling. You're scrolling through your feed, and suddenly it feels like literally everyone else is moving a million miles an hour, and you are just standing still. You see it right there. Someone you know just got a massive promotion. Another person bought a brand new car. A former classmate just launched a highly successful business. Or maybe you find out a colleague is earning significantly more than you. We have all been there.
And then, almost inevitably, this very heavy, very quiet question pops into your mind. Am I falling behind? It's a completely natural feeling. That fear of missing out, that deep-seated anxiety that you just aren't doing enough, is something we all grapple with. But what if I told you that the very premise of your worry is completely flawed? You're simply comparing yourself to the wrong person. The biggest competition in your life is not your friend, it's not your colleague, it's not your neighbor, or even your biggest industry rival. It is entirely with yourself. In today's explainer, we are going to break down exactly why you versus you is the only comparison that truly matters. We'll look at how tiny daily improvements can completely transform your life, and how the crazy power of compounding works not just in finance, but in your personality, your career, your health, and your relationships.
Okay, let's dive right into part 1, the comparison trap.
We are basically living in the era of comparison. Every single day, the digital world serves up this endless buffet of other people's successes. On one side of the equation, we have their highlight reel. This is what they project, right? The glowing promotion announcements, the picture-perfect vacation photos, the new house, the startup funding press releases. We only see the glorious, polished result. We absolutely never see the years of grinding struggle behind it. And on the other side of that equation, we have our everyday life. These are our behind-the-scenes struggles, our boring Tuesday mornings, our doubts and our failures. The fundamental problem is this incredibly unfair math. We are comparing their absolute best, most curated moments against our raw, unedited, everyday reality. It is an unwinnable game. And what does it actually do? It creates massive amounts of stress. It breeds jealousy. It feeds self-doubt, until we slowly start believing this really dangerous lie. I'm just not good enough.
But I want you to take a deep breath and think about this logically for a second. Is it actually fair to compare yourself to someone who has completely different experiences, someone with different opportunities, different struggles, unique goals, and an entirely different journey? Absolutely not. Life is not a track and field event. It's not a race where everyone lines up at the exact same starting line when the gun goes off. Everyone has a uniquely tailored path. When you realize that the starting lines, the terrain, and the finish lines are completely different for everyone, direct comparison just becomes fundamentally flawed. So why even do it?
Which brings us to part 2, the right competition.
So if we shouldn't be comparing ourselves to the highlight reels on our phones, who should we be looking at? Instead of looking outward, I want you to turn your focus completely inward and compare yourself to only 3 people. Step 1, who were you yesterday? Step 2, who are you today? And step 3, who do you want to become tomorrow? That is the structured framework for the only comparison that actually matters. Because your ultimate goal in life isn't to magically morph into someone else. Your goal is to become a slightly better, more refined version of yourself.
To make this super actionable, I want to challenge you to use this evening checklist. Before you go to sleep tonight, ask yourself these specific questions. Did I learn something new today? Did I make choices to become slightly healthier? Was I a bit more disciplined? Did I improve one specific skill? Did I make one better decision than I would have yesterday? If you can honestly answer yes to these questions, I want to reassure you right now, you are already winning. You're playing the right game and you are absolutely winning it.
Let's look at how this actually plays out in part 3, the magic of 0.1% improvement. We really need to transition into the actual mathematical reality of growth here, because we have to dispel a massive myth. The myth that success comes from one huge lucky break, one giant promotion, one explosive business deal, one viral moment. Real success simply doesn't happen that way. Real success actually comes from a ridiculously small number, 0.1%. Imagine focusing on improving yourself by just 0.1% every single day. On the surface, it sounds way too small to even matter, right? You might think, well, why bother? But that is exactly how the hidden power of compounding works. Think about it like a financial investment. If you invest money consistently, your money earns money. Then, those returns earn more returns, and eventually, your wealth skyrockets. We are taking that exact same financial metaphor of compounding returns and applying it directly to your daily habits.
Let's look at what this compounding actually looks like in practice. Point 1. Today.
You do something tiny and completely unglamorous, like reading just 10 pages of a book. Not a whole chapter, literally just 10 pages. Fast forward to point 2, 1 year later. Those daily 10 pages mean you've completed multiple full books. Now look at point 3, 5 years out. By simply learning one new concept every day, you have become a legitimate expert in your field. The exact same thing goes for your health. Exercising for just 30 minutes daily means your future body will thank you. Improving your communication slightly every week means career opportunities will naturally start multiplying. These tiny micro actions, they don't look impressive on day one, but compounded together over time, they create extraordinary, undeniable results.
And that idea expands far beyond just reading or working out. Let's look at part 4. Everything compounds. We often restrict this idea of compounding to bank accounts and stock portfolios, but life itself operates on a compounding basis. It affects every single aspect of who we are. Now, the math of compounding doesn't care if a habit is good or bad. It multiplies both. On one side, we have positive habits. Every time you read, practice, or connect, your knowledge compounds, your skills compound, your health, your relationships, your trust, and your confidence, they all compound. Thousands of tiny positive choices build an incredible life. But look at the flip side, negative habits. This is where compounding works against us. Skipping a workout, procrastinating on a project, ignoring learning, getting poor sleep, complaining every single day. In the moment, each one of these choices seems completely harmless. But let them compound over a few years and they snowball into unavoidable, deeply entrenched consequences.
This brings us to a really foundational truth. Your future is not created by one singular, monumental decision. You are not defined by one big win or one big failure. Your future is crafted day by thousands of tiny, systemic micro-choices. Every single day, you are basically casting a vote for the person you are going to become.
So what do we do with all this? That brings us to part 5. Stop chasing people. Because of everything we just talked about, we need to completely stop chasing other people's metrics. I have to warn you right now, external comparison is a race with absolutely no finish line. The moment you catch up to someone, you'll look up and realize there is always going to be someone richer. There will always be someone smarter. There will always be someone younger or ostensibly more successful. You will never, ever be satisfied if your benchmark for success is the person standing next to you. Instead, you need to direct all of that competitive energy inward. Focus entirely on your own progress through actionable steps. Track your own habits. Be your own measure of success. Celebrate your own small, daily micro-wins, because those are the actual building blocks of your future. And just as importantly, learn from your own mistakes without shame so you can become a little bit better every single day.
So the absolutely crucial point here is this. The person you are trying to beat isn't your colleague sitting in the next office. It isn't your friend posting vacation pictures from Bali. It isn't your industry competitor. Your true rival, the only opponent that actually stands between you and your potential, is your own inner resistance. Your goal is simply to beat the version of yourself that keeps making excuses. As we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with this incredibly powerful thought. Don't compete with the world. Compete with yesterday's version of yourself. Because one day, you are going to look back at your life, and you'll realize that your biggest achievement wasn't becoming better than someone else. It wasn't out-earning a rival. Your biggest achievement was simply becoming better than the person you used to be. The only competition that lasts forever is you versus you. Improve just a little every day. Stay consistent. Trust the compounding process. Because today's small effort literally becomes tomorrow's extraordinary success. If this explainer changed the way you think about comparison, don't just sit on this information. Put it into action right now. So I have to ask you, what is one habit you are improving today? Start your own compounding journey right this second. Share this explainer with someone who really needs to hear this message. And remember, keep focusing on outgrowing yesterday's version of you. See you next time.